Well, howdy ho there, neighbor. Welcome to Press Play, where we take a look at the best and then worst video marketing content out there. I'm Ben. That there is Justin. And today we're going to take a look at company culture videos. Now, in defining a company culture video, we actually had kind of an interesting discussion yesterday.
We got into it.
We did.
That's for sure.
I tend to come at it from where I think most people probably come at it from a kind of a default standpoint of company culture video being used for HR recruiting type purposes.
Yep.
You were having none of that.
I was into it. That's certainly an option, but I feel like there's also a marketing element, like in sales, right? Why would I want to work with this company if their features and everything are somewhat similar? Why would I want to work with this company over that company? And culture, I think, is about that right fit.
Absolutely. And so that's why we decided to define a company culture video as something that's for someone that you might work with to determine whether it's a good fit there. So whether that's a client you might work with or an employee you might bring on, this is who we are as a company. This is what we stand for. That's a company culture video.
So a culture can be comprised of a lot of things. It's the arts, what you eat, the way you tell jokes, the music you play, all those sorts of things. So thought defining culture might help here, and then we can then further define corporate culture. So culture is the customs, arts, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. So when you apply that to a company, what of those things are happening inside that company? And what's the point of a culture video?
Part of that definition is within a social group too. And any workplace is a social group, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think there are a lot of social factors that go into a corporate culture also, right? It's what we're about, but it's really who are the people that make up this company. So let's try to reel this in a little bit and get to some of the key elements of a company culture video.
Yep.
What would you say the 4 key elements are?
First one is honesty.
Okay.
This is kind of the who we are, why we exist, what's our mission, what's our purpose, that kind of thing. You want to make sure that that's a thread throughout this video.
It's got to come from a place of legitimacy, right?
Yep.
It can't just be stuff we made up.
Yep.
Okay.
It's got to be authentic, right? We've been in a position where we had to create the video first before there was a culture, and it didn't turn out well.
Nope.
You may find it somewhere on our work page.
Yeah, kudos to whoever can find it and put it in the comments. So have the culture, then have the video.
Yes, it only makes sense to do it that way. Otherwise, it's not authentic.
Okay.
Also, let's be real. Let's show and don't tell. Don't read from a script. Don't put 10 marketing people in an office and say, all right, write the script to our marketing or to our culture video. It doesn't work that way.
So one of the things that you came across also in prepping for this is, I think you started to Google search company culture video or best company culture video, and one of the things that automatically filled in was company culture script.
Yes,
right?
Yeah. If people are searching for that, that's a problem.
Right.
Because there's no script to your company culture. It's whatever organically you are. So.
Okay. And fourth?
Fourth is being genuine. Don't force it. Let it come out. Like I was just saying, let it come out organically.
Okay. So 4 key elements that essentially all mean the same thing.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at our first example. I have brought Working at Twilio from Twilio.
What did they do?
I don't know, but let's find out. We'll press play.
When we started Twilio, it was just 3 of us in a room with an idea. Now we have hundreds of people working at Twilio, yet everybody shares that passion for creating products that empower customers.
Twilio is a cloud communications platform that allows you to embed communications into whatever it is that you're building as a developer, and really unlocking that developer creativity. That is a mindset that you either have or you don't.
We believe that everyone here should not only just understand our product, but should build something with it.
Who wants to see some demos?
At a Wednesday night dinner, you stand up there in front of everyone and you pretty much present your app. People are cheering you on, and it's actually like a really, really awesome experience. And it does give you that sense of belonging.
That triggers the text message. And now the moment of truth. There it is.
As an entrepreneur, I've always believed in the power of a small group of people to accomplish amazing things. And in building Twilio, we always wanted to keep that entrepreneurial owner spirit in everything that we do.
I'm empowered to speak up, and it's always been encouraged here. Understanding that what I have to say matters. The old meme of how to draw an owl is you draw 2 circles and then you draw the rest of the owl. I think that's really embodied here. The reason I say that is because everyone kind of does. They're given some tools and they figure it out along the way.
Just knowing that like you can have an impact, it's very rewarding.
It is cool. It's what keeps me from ever getting bored.
It's freaking fantastic. It's so awesome to be at a place where I feel like the work that I'm personally doing is both supported and empowered.
Here at Twilio, we're not a finished product. We're not a solution. We're an API. We're a platform. We let developers do things that they didn't know they could do before and then execute their ideas at scale. That is fundamentally an empowering product, and we're just getting started.
All right, so I feel like, actually, even until the call to action at the very end, it didn't even really feel like a come work here video, right? It felt like this is what we're about. We're about giving people opportunities to create what they want to create. I love that fits so well too with an API also, like what he said about not being a finished solution, right? They're just something that's kind of always having opportunities for development and whatever, and they just create an environment for developers to go in and just kind of do what they want to do.
Yeah, I really got that feeling based like that. It looked like a Thursday thing where they're all in the room and they show off what they've built and see if it worked, and they supported each other and their rewards. Like,
yeah, so it just, I don't know, it just had a really good kind of legitimate feeling. It was also a nice mix of kind of starting with the founder and CEO, but also then getting to the people who actually work there talking about it. Right, so let's take a look at the key elements. So honesty, who, why, mission, purpose, absolutely hit on that, right? Again, the things we were just talking about. We're creating a space for developers to create things, right? And constantly encourage them to give them the tools and encourage them to make the things that they want to make. I totally got that through this. It felt like a very comfortable place to go and thrive if I'm a developer, but also if I want them to develop something for me, it feels like a place where people are going to be free to be creative and find the solution that I'm looking for.
Like you, to your point earlier, it wasn't a recruiting video. It was a culture video that, until the call to action, was undefined as a marketing piece or a sales piece or a recruiting HR piece. And that's what I think is the essence of a culture video is, you should be able to use this in a number of ways.
Point 2, authenticity. They could be really, really good liars, right? I can't prove authenticity and honesty, but I feel I get a genuine feeling that really is what that place is all about. Right? It came, the people were speaking naturally, and it didn't seem, as you'll see in some of our bad examples, it didn't seem overly forced or overly scripted. It just felt like kind of honest, genuine, real, authentic talk from these people.
It felt like they captured moments of a conversation that meant something, and they put them in the video.
Real, showing, not telling. I think they did a really good job of with their B-roll, actually.
Yes, that was what I was going to say.
Yeah, so okay, then what were you going to say about that?
Just that, like, they didn't have to say that they work hard and that they enjoy their work. They showed it. It was very clear that those people are engaged in their work.
And I thought they did a really good job of showing different sizes of groups, too. You saw people working in like a group of 2 or 3 on something. You saw people working at larger tables with larger groups. You saw people working individually. You saw that whole Wednesday dinner on Thursday thing working together, right? I mean, it just gives a sense of options and opportunity and just kind of the ability to work however you want to work.
And it doesn't, they're not saying we are flexible with introverts and extroverts who want to work in big groups or small groups. It just shows that.
Yep.
So you can't write a script for those things. You just it has to happen organically.
Yep.
Which brings us to genuine.
Definitely not forced. I mean, it felt real. It felt legitimate. It felt casual. It felt like they were really just saying, look, this is who we are. This is how we go about what we do. Right or wrong, right fit or wrong fit. Like, if you're into this, great. Come learn more.
Yeah.
Work with us, hire us, whatever it is. But if you don't like what's here, that's fine. Because we got plenty of opportunity, and we're going to find the right people to work with. So I think that's a 4 out of 4 on that one.
Yeah.
What do you have for us today?
I've got, so this is a company, at least before they sold to whoever owns them now. I think they sold. But 37 Signals. You remember them?
Yeah.
They started Basecamp. Rework is the book that I think you recommended to me.
That book is actually my small business Bible. I love that book.
Yeah. So Basecamp, I think this is this is a more recent video, but a great company still. I think there's some interesting things about this. This is not a typical culture video.
Okay.
But it's called Basecamp Try Some Coffee.
All right. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
All right.
Let's
Let's
press
have a look.
play.
Doesn't seem like there's a lot there. Tastes like brown water. Smells like your average cup of joe.
It's good. I believe this is not the sludge from McDonald's. Yeah, it's really good. I would drink this on a daily basis.
This is pretty good. This is pretty good. I don't know if it's fancy. I don't know if it's expensive, but it's just totally hitting the spot right now.
Not a big fan. It's just kind of blah, boring coffee.
Oh shit, I think I was totally wrong. This is the McCafe, I think. This is okay. I would drink this with my cream in the morning.
Honestly, this one tastes a lot like the other one to me. I think it tastes a little bit better, like it tastes a little bit fuller. I think I winced when I took a sip of the other one at first, and I didn't wince this, because that's an improvement. Marginal improvement.
Kind of tasted like the other one. Flat and sour, a little bit. Nothing special.
I think it tastes exactly the same. I also don't think I like coffee very much.
Interesting.
Yeah. A completely different way to show your culture.
Mm-hmm.
I have to start by saying it's about a minute and a half too long.
It is. It is.
It is too long, but I felt like they did a really good job of not doing the same old shit.
True.
But they let you into their world.
Mm-hmm.
See, Basecamp is like a number of companies these days where they all telecommute or they work from home. They don't go to an office. So the culture there is different. But I wonder if, like, what was interesting in this video is they found a base for connection between all those workers and brought them together and said, let's try some coffee. Like, what do you guys like? What do you like? What do you like? What do you like? Oh, okay, everybody likes coffee. Cool. Let's come here. Let's try some coffee. Let's have some fun with it, right? And I think what that does is it, like, just about every other company has people, most of the people in those companies love coffee. So all of a sudden you're building that connection of like, okay, interesting, yeah, McCafe and $50 coffee.
Sure.
And I just think it's an interesting play on how to like introduce humans through an experience that isn't them saying, yeah, we're really funny and whatever. Like, I think that kind of gets to the show don't tell. I don't know. Let's go through the list, or did you have some comments?
Well, we can address it through the list, but I'll be honest. I don't know that I really got it. I want to get it because I think it was clever, and if I were to try to put what I think they were going for on there, I think you said it when you said interesting. Like, it. Right, everybody kind of had their own opinion, and so it's not the line that we love, right? There's no right or wrong. There's just interesting, less interesting, right?
Yep.
So it's not about absolutes. It's not about, oh, we're trying to be this or we're trying to be that. It's just that we are the different things that make us up, maybe.
Yeah.
But I was really hoping for 1.5 minutes less of it, and then kind of a reveal at the end for what they were going for.
Yeah.
And maybe that was the point of it, was to kind of let you fill in the blank a little bit. But it did leave me wanting more, but not necessarily in a good way.
Okay.
But still really interesting approach. So yeah, maybe I'll find more enlightenment as we go through.
Yeah, because I think I've had more time to think about it.
Yeah, no, it was my first time seeing it, so I have not considered it at all.
Let me ask you this. First time seeing it, would you click to learn more?
Yes, I'd have to, because I'd want to try to figure out what
as a
what else
client,
was going on
vendor, or potential employee.
Absolutely. So good for them.
Sure.
On that point.
They created some sort of mystique, maybe.
Yeah. So let's start with point number 1, honesty.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't think it hits a mission exactly.
Okay.
There's no purpose behind their work, except that I can kind of, the first maybe minute is the setup, right? Or maybe 45 seconds or something. And it drops in coffee, and then they go through this artisan pour over process of making coffee. I think that's analog to what they are as a company in some ways. I think they're showing the way that they work off in a different way.
Okay.
As more of an artisan approach.
Okay. So we'll give that a check mark. Yeah, authenticity.
I don't honestly. So on honesty, I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know.
That's fair. Good thing we introduced the question mark in our last episode. All right, point number 2, authenticity, right? Having the culture first and then showing it. I'm going to say yes, but I'll let you elaborate.
I'll say yes.
All right. Point number 3.
No, I think there's a culture there. These people have to interact on a number of different levels. It's just their interaction has been differentiated, modulated in a new way. Rather than being face-to-face, they do video conferencing and whatnot. And you still develop a culture, but I think in some ways that culture, you retain a little bit more of yourself in the identity of self. And that's maybe portrayed through some of the opinions that they give throughout the coffee experience.
I think maybe I have a new take on it. Coffee is something that maybe brings them all together, right? They're all in different places. They all have slightly different jobs, right? They're all part of a team. Coffee may be the one thing that brings them together, but they do have different opinions on it, right? And so as a collective, there's something that they can all latch onto in that coffee piece, but they don't all necessarily agree that this one is better or this one is better or whatever. So I'm going to go with that as my interpretation of the video for now. We'll probably change one or two more times. So how about real, showing instead of telling?
You have to read between the lines in this video.
Yeah.
So they're not saying, yeah, it's great because we can take a break and go to a ping pong table, and then you show a B-roll of ping pong tables, and everyone hits the close button on the tab because fuck that.
No ping pong tables. We know that.
Seriously. No, but this is like just a different way of doing it, and I think when you can enter, if you just like walk into a conversation of strangers, I think you can find out a lot more about who they are than if they told you who they are.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of where they're going with this.
All right. Then to point 4, was it genuine? It didn't feel forced at all to me.
Yeah. What I like about this is I think they kind of said we may be artisans. We may all have different thoughts and feelings. Some of us may think we're perfect, but we're not perfect. Some of us, there were some in there that maybe portrayed a little bit more of a snobby approach to the coffee tasting, but were wrong, dead wrong. Others who had no idea, but they were wrong, or some were right, but others just admitted they didn't know. And I think that as part of their culture, they know they're not perfect.
Okay.
And so I think it's very welcoming from a potential employee standpoint.
Okay, I'm going to take a third stance on my interpretation of this. Maybe it's that there's something for everyone there, right? There's the person who, like, one of those guys, clearly you could tell the way he was tasting it, and I think he ended up liking the more expensive one. He's clearly like a coffee connoisseur kind of thing, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? There's the woman who admitted that she may not actually be that much of a coffee person. There's a woman who said, yeah, I could have that with my cream in the morning, indicating she's not much of a coffee person, but she kind of into the ritual, right? So maybe it's also that there's just something for everyone at Basecamp, whether that's you being a client of Basecamp or you wanting to work there, because when we first started this company, we had Basecamp. We used it for a while, and it worked for the very limited needs that we had, and it works for companies that have huge needs. So I can see how on both ends it could also be just that statement, something for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, quick recap, 4 key elements of a good company culture video.
Honesty.
Okay.
Authenticity.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
Genuine.
Right.
They all mean the same thing.
Sure. So that's a look at a couple of good company culture videos. Next time we're going to take a look at a couple bad examples of company culture videos. And we'll see you then on Press Play.
Bye-bye.